Namaskar, my friends. My name is Sandhya, and today we are going to be doing a Shivananda inspired yoga practice. So this flow is taken from the Shivananda daily yoga and pranayama exercises with a few adjustments, modifications to meet the 1 hour. Like always, I encourage you to listen to your own bodies first, make any adjustments you need to, take a rest, and join back in if you need to. I'd also like to encourage you to take this as an opportunity to practice subtle body awareness. So, as we're going through the flow, can you bring awareness to the energy behind the movement of the muscles? So, let's get right to it. So, sitting comfortably, either resting the hands on the thighs or by the heart center for our opening mantras. Gajananam bhutaganadi sevitam kapita jambu palasara bhakshitam umasutam shokavinashakaranam namami vigneshwara parapankajam shadananam kumkumaraktavaranam mahamatim divyamayoravahanam Rudaksya sunam surya sanyanatam guham sadaham sharanam prapatye ya kundendu tusharahara davala ya shubravasta prita ya vina varananda manditakara ya shveta padmasata Ya Brahma Uchita Shankara Prabhutivi Devai Sada Pujitam Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jaya Paha Om Namah Shivaya Guruve Sachidananda Murtaye Nisrapanchaya Shantaya Shri Shivanandaya Te Namaha Shri Vishnu Deva Dandayate Namaha Om Sarva Mangala Mangaye Shive Sarvata Sadhike Sharaye Trayambake Gauri Narayane Namostute Narayane Namostute Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So with these mantras, we tune the mind into the divine and all its aspects. First, we invoke Ganesha to remove all obstacles, then Subramanya to give us strength and destroy all negative forces. Next, Saraswati to give us divine knowledge, and then we ask the teacher, Guru, to guide us always. We invoke the Divine Mother Durga, Narayani, to bring auspiciousness under all our undertakings. And in this undertaking, it is our sadhana asana practice. So we'll begin with our pranayama exercises. First, our Kapalabhati, breath of fire, a kriya to cleanse our nadis and our chakras. So for this, we'll do about a minute. This is that complete exhalation through the nostril. The inhalation comes naturally. We'll do about a minute. Of course, you're always going at your own pace, taking the breaks or the rest that you need, and then joining back in when you feel ready. Breathing in through the nose and out. In through the nose. And we begin. And relax. Regulating the breath here and observing the body and the subtle body. Preparing for our second round. Breathing in. Begin. And relax. Observing. Breathing normally. And preparing one final time. Breathing in. Begin. And relax. Breathing normally, slow, deep in breaths through the nose and out through the nose. Noticing the experiences within the body, in the subtle, in the physical. We prepare for our next exercise, the alternate nostril breathing. This is to balance both sides of the brain. And if we notice the subtle energy behind the breath, we can begin to balance the heating and cooling energies, the Ida and the Pingala, in our subtle being. So for this, we'll do an inhale for a count of 4, an exhale, if we're able to, for a count of 8, and we'll have no retention at this time. We'll retain for a second, a moment. We won't be holding longer. Taking our hand position, Vishnu Mudra, tucking in the middle and the index finger. The thumb and the ring will be doing the blocking. Hugging the right and breathing out through the left, just normally here. In through the left, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Plug both nostrils, hold. And out through the right, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. In through the right, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Plug both and hold. Release the left, exhale. Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6, Om 7, Om 8. That's one round. In through the left, Om 1, Om 2, hold 3, hold 4. Plug and hold. Release right. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, hold 5, hold 6, hold 7, hold 8. In right. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. Plug and hold. And exhale through left. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, hold 5, hold 6, hold 7, hold 8. In left. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. Plug, hold. Out right. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug, retain. Out left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. Out right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. Out left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slowly taking the hands from the face, releasing the hand mudra. Hands can rest on the thighs. Breathing normally here and observing the experience in the physical body, the subtle body, following these pranayama exercises. Slowly come up to a standing position from here. We're going to begin with our asana postures, starting with our warm-up, our Surya Namaskars. Coming to the front of your mat, feet hip distance apart, palms facing forward. Looking forward, chin parallel to the mat. Inhale, the hands up. Exhale, the hands together. Inhale the hands up and back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, stepping the right leg back, knee drops, looking up. Retain the breath, high plank position. Coming down, knees, chest, forehead as we exhale. Inhale, sliding forward, lifting the chest, feet together. And then exhale, let's push back into our inverted V. Keeping a bend in the knees if you're not able to straighten them fully. Taking a breath here. And then on our next inhale, stepping the right foot forward, looking up. Exhale, other foot joins, folding forward. Inhale, reaching up and back. And exhale, hands down by the sides. Left side now. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale the hands up and back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, left leg steps back, looking up, dropping the back knee. Retain the breath. Right leg joins, plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, forehead to the mat, tailbone is high. Inhale, sliding forward, lifting the chest, lifting the head, feet stay together. And then exhale, pushing back, inverted V. On your next inhale, left foot steps forward, looking up. Exhale, other leg joins, folding forward. Inhale, reaching the hands up and back. Exhaling, hands down. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands together. Inhale, stretching up and back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, right leg back, looking up. Left leg joins, retain the breath. Exhale, knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, sliding forward, lifting the chest. Exhale, back to our inverted V. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, other leg joins, forward fold. Inhale the hands up and back. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, exhale, hands come together. Inhale, stretching up and back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, left leg back, looking up. Retain the breath. Other leg joins, plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, sliding forward, looking up. Exhale, pushing back, inverted V. Inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, other leg joins. Inhale, reaching up and back. And exhaling, hands down. Two more, one on each side. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands reaching up and back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, right leg back, looking up. Retain the breath, other leg joins. Plank. Exhale, knees, chest, forehead. Tailbone high. Inhale, sliding forward, lifting the chest, looking up. And exhale, inverted V. Inhale, right leg forward, looking up, lunge. Exhale, other leg joins, folding forward. Inhale, hands reaching up and back. And exhale, hands by the side. Inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, hands reaching up and back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, left leg back, looking up. Retain the breath, other leg joins. Plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, sliding forward, lifting the chest, looking up. Exhale, pushing back, inverted V. Inhale, left leg forward, looking up, lunge. Exhale, other leg joins. Inhale, hands reaching up and back. And exhale, hands by the sides. Turning the palms to face out. Bring the feet to hip distance if they're not already there. And observe. Heart rate has increased a little bit here. Bringing the breathing back to a regulated pace. Then we're going to come to our mats, lying on our backs. Continuing with the warm-up, we're moving into our leg lifts. So bringing the hands, either resting, palms facing down by the hips, or you can bring them under the lower back for additional back and core support. So we're going to press in. With our next inhale, we're going to lift up the right leg only for a count of 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to grab the back of that leg, holding wherever you can. Circle out the ankles here in one direction and then going into the other direction. Then we can either stay here or you can try and lift the head up and bring the head towards that leg, towards that knee. And then we release it down. Observe the difference between the one leg versus the other that we haven't stretched yet. And then prepare for the other side, inhaling the left leg now up for 2, 3, 4, holding the back of that leg wherever you can reach, circling out the ankle in one direction, and then the other. We can either stay here, or we can choose to lift the head up and try and bring the forehead towards the leg. And we release it back down. Now I want to come to double leg lifts, bringing the hands under the lower back if you haven't already put them there. Engaging the core, tucking the chin slightly into the chest. We're going to lift both legs up for 1, 2, 3, and release down. 3, 2, 1. Inhaling them up. 1, 2, 3, and down. 3, 2, 1. Last time, inhale up. 1, 2, 3, and down. 3, 2, 1. Release and relax. Short Shavasana here. And we're going to prepare for our next posture, slowly shifting into a child's pose posture. This is usually the opportunity we do Shirshasana or headstand, but today we'll just be doing headstand preparation for strengthening the arms and the shoulders and the core. This is our dolphin pose. So lifting the head up from our child's pose here, we're going to clasp the hands together, making a strong triangular base with our elbows. Elbows are not wider than our shoulders, maybe a little bit more in than our shoulders. And then from here, we're going to start to lift the hips and try and straighten our legs here. So similar to our inverted V posture, but now the weight is on our forearms and our hands. We're trying to get our back straight and our legs straight, but there may be a slight bend depending on the mobility and flexibility of the body. You can take the feet a little bit wider than hip distance too. So we can either try to stay here and just work on holding this posture, coming out whenever you need to, or you can add a little bit of movement here for deeper strengthening. So with the breath, we inhale as we try to come forward and bring the chin past the hands, and then we exhale as we shift back. So doing this at your own pace here. If you feel comfortable and able to do so, coming out when you need to, working with your own body. And then we'll all come out of this posture, release back into your child's pose. Hands can come forward or palms up by your ankles. And we're all going to, after taking a few breaths here, turn on to our backs for our regular Shavasana. Next posture is our Sarvangasana, or our shoulder stand. Bringing the feet together on the mat. We're going to start by lifting the hips, lifting the feet up, lifting the hips, engaging with the core, and bringing the hands to rest along the hips and the lower back area. So if we get a little bit of momentum, a little bit of rocking to bring ourselves up there, we make sure we find the stillness after we reach our legs up in our shoulder stand Sarvangasana. We want to keep our back relatively straight, relatively in line with the legs. The legs are not shifting too far forward. If you would like, you can also readjust your posture by bending the knees, resting them temporarily on the forehead, adjusting your grip on your lower back, maybe moving it higher up the back, then straightening the legs back again. We try and find a stillness, feet are relaxed. And then from here, keeping the leg as straight as you're able to, we're going to slowly lower the feet behind the head, coming into our halasana or plow pose. Now the legs don't need to be straight here. You can keep a slight bend in the knees, especially if there's limitations in the hamstrings or the back. If you had a block or a pillow or a cushion, you could set yourself up to rest your feet on the cushion behind your head. We're going to slowly pick the legs back up. Straightening back into our shoulder stand. Just for one moment here, noticing if you feel any difference after the halasana, back and leg stretch. Your back is straighter in your shoulder stand. You're able to hold the posture a little deeper. Notice. And then to come out, we tuck the knees back into towards the forehead, maybe resting them there, tucking them towards the chest. Releasing the hands. Once the feet are safely past the head, we lower the hands down and then slowly bring the feet down. We bring the feet behind our head to make sure there's no danger of us falling out. Because we're shifting our weight back. Hands lower down, and then we slowly roll ourselves down onto our back, coming into our Shavasana for one rest here for a few moments. Palms turning up. Preparing for Matsyasana, our fish pose. We bring the feet together on our mat. Toes are not pointed or flexed, but relaxed. Palms come under our lower back, a little bit lower towards our seat area or buttocks area. We walk the elbows and the shoulders under our back as much as we're able to, trying to bring the elbows together. And then we push into our palms, push into the forearms and the elbow, lift the chest up as high as you can before dropping the head back, trying to get to the crown of the head to rest on the mat. Very little weight is on the head. It's all in the forearms and in the hands. There should be no pain in the neck or in the head or anywhere. Please come out if you feel any of that discomfort. And similar to shoulder stand, the head needs to stay looking up, looking forward. No movement of the neck in these postures. out. We push more into the palms, more into the elbows. Lift the head up gently, lowering it back down, releasing the arms, releasing the elbows. Palms turn up. Shavasana. We'll let everything go. And then the hands reach up behind the head on the floor. Engaging the core, again, tucking the chin slightly into the chest here. Engaging the core, we're going to try and lift ourselves up to a seated position with straight legs, or a staff pose. Keeping the hands up overhead, we're going to find Paschimottanasana, our seated forward fold. So with the hands straight, back straight, legs straight. We're going to exhale, folding forward over the legs. Trying to keep a straight back. Core is engaged here. Only when the back cannot straighten anymore do we relax into the posture and hold onto the legs or to the feet. There's no pulling in this posture, so we're not pulling the feet to bring ourselves lower down. Rather, we're allowing gravity to support us to come deeper into this posture. Breathing deeply here, as with all our postures. The deeper you relax, the more your body will deepen in this posture naturally without any pulling. To come out of this posture, we come out the same way we came in. So by stretching the hands out, so releasing it from the feet or the legs, wherever we're holding, our core is engaged. We try and lift ourselves up straight, stretching the arms forward as much as we can, coming into that staff pose, arms overhead. And then we relax the hands. If this is not possible, you can also just tuck the chin into the chest and slowly roll up as well. Our counter pose is our reverse plank or reverse tabletop. Hands reach behind you, palms facing down, fingertips pointing towards you. Pressing into the palms, lifting the hips, pressing into the soles of feet as much as you can. Push ourselves up and let the head fall back. If this is too intense, we can also come into our reverse table, where the knees are bent. But we're also pushing and we're feeling that chest opening. And we slowly release down. We're going to turn over onto our bellies. Coming to lying on the mat, stacking palms here in front of us, and resting one ear, turning the head to the side, resting one ear on the mat. To complete the circuit, touch the big toes together while the heels fall open. Trying to really relax and let everything go here. Coming to Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. So bringing the head to center, picking it up. Bringing the hands so the palms are under the shoulders here. Feet are together to protect our lower back. Then with our next inhale, we lift the head, lift the chest as much as we can, engaging our back muscles here. So very little weight right now is on the hands as we engage our back muscles and use that to lift ourselves. We wouldn't be lifting that high with just the back muscles. And staying here, or using the hands for guidance, we can push a little bit into the mat and lift ourselves up into a fuller expression of our cobra pose. And releasing back down. Stacking the palms, turning the other ear to rest on the mat just for a moment. Heels fall open, big toes touch. Preparing ourselves for our Shalabhasana or locust pose next. So we'll bring the head back into center, resting the chin on the mat here. And we'll bring our hands under our chest, trying to bring the elbows to touch under our abdomen area. So you can choose to either turn your palms facing up, or you can press them down onto the mat. If you have hyperextension in your elbows, it's easier to turn your palms facing up. So we'll start with our single leg locust pose, Shalabhasana, half locust. We're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then on our next inhale, lifting the right leg up, lifting it as high as you can. Don't hold the breath here. Try and breathe. And exhale, release it down. Other side, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts, high as you can. And exhale, releasing it down. We're going to come into our full locust, noticing where your abilities are and working with your own body. Again, elbows are in, checking with your body, palms are still facing up, our arms are as much under our body as we're able to. We're going to take a few breaths before we come into it. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, preparing yourself. Inhale and exhale, and then inhale, lifting. Lifting the legs, maybe it's not that much. Try to hold yourself up. Hold the legs up. Trying to hold. Feel the challenge, feel the heat, feel the strength of your body as you hold this. And then we release it down. Again, stacking palms, resting one ear. Giving your body a rest here to let everything go. Big toes touching, heels turning out. Okay, and then we're going to bring the head back into center. Reach back behind us, bending the knees, and grabbing the ankles with both hands here. Chin is in the center, Dhanurasana bow pose. On our next exhale, let's lift, kicking into the feet, lifting the chest, lifting the head. Kicking into the hands with the feet, try to come and lift up, curving the back as much as you're able to and holding here. You may notice with each inhale and exhale, you rock a little bit forward and back. Holding, keep the breath. And releasing down. Before we push back into our child's pose, just keep the knees bent and swish the feet back and forth like windshield wipers just to release out the lower back. Then we push back into our child's pose. Hands can be up by the heels or stretching forward. Really letting everything go. And then we're going to gently push ourselves up from our child's pose, walking the hands in, as if we're sitting back on our heels. Shift the heels to one side and stretch the legs out in front of you. Back to our staff seated pose, straight legs out. We're going to come into our Ardha Matsyendrasana, so our half spinal twist. We're going to start by bending the right knee, crossing the foot to the outside of that left knee. We're going to twist towards that bent right knee. So the right hand reaches behind you, palm rests on the floor for back support. And then we twist towards that bent knee, hugging the knee into the chest. And if we're able to, we can even reach that left arm to the outside of that bent right knee. Now to deepen this posture, you can also bend that straightened left leg back behind you. And then if your elbow is hooked on the outside of that right knee, you can grab or reach for that left knee as you twist into that bent knee. Otherwise, you can keep the leg straight for a little less intensity. Okay, and then we're going to slowly release from this, unhook the arm, straighten out both legs. And now we bend the left knee, cross it to the outside of that right knee. Left hand reaches behind us for back support. And we bring that knee, as we twist into that bent knee, we bring that knee towards our chest. Maybe we hug it in. Maybe we hook that right elbow on the outside of that knee. And if we'd like to deepen, we bend that straightened right knee. And we reach for that bent right knee with that right arm. Otherwise, you can keep the leg straight for a less intense version of the posture. Holding and breathing here. slowly release from this posture, untwisting and crossing the legs and straightening the legs out. You can give everything a little bit of a shake here. Then we'll hug the knees into the chest. Hug yourself into a tight ball, bringing the forehead to the bent knees. And then we release. And we'll come to a crouching posture. So we're going to prepare for our Kakasana or crow pose. So this is a very intense arm balancing, but it's good for wrist strength, which we so rarely get. So we don't necessarily have to come into the posture fully to get the benefits. So in our crouching posture, we plant the palms down at about shoulder height, a little bit more in. And we bend the elbows, creating a little bit of a shelf here. And then we begin by trying to bring the knees, one knee at a time, maybe behind the elbows, just above the elbows on the upper arm area, resting on the shelf. Maybe we start to pick up one foot and notice how it feels to be balancing just on one foot. And maybe we try with the other. And maybe if we're feeling we can, we lean forward a little bit and try and pick up both feet, bringing the toes together. So again, a very intense posture, only doing what you're able to, what your body allows for. And then we're going to come out of this posture, slowly rolling up, coming to a standing, rolling the shoulders back as you come up. Now we're going to reach the hands up overhead, coming into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Hands reach up. Then we start to hinge. We try and reach our hands forward now, trying to stretch as much as we can before we reach the floor. And once we find our version of the posture, so we can't stretch anymore, we just relax into it. We try and reach the feet, but we can hold on to the legs or the ankles. Just allowing the head to relax into this posture. And to release out the neck, if there's any remaining tension in the neck, in our forward fold, we can shake the head out as if we're saying yes. And then we shake the head out as if we're saying no. Keeping our breath slow, deep, and even. And then to come out, we come out the same way we came in. So start to straighten the arms. And as we come up slowly, we're trying to reach the arms out in front of us, engaging the core if we can, coming up to a standing and releasing the hands down. If we're not able to do this with the core, we can also just tuck our chin into our chest and roll up one vertebrae at a time. So working with your own bodies. Finally, we'll come to Trikonasana, triangle pose. So turning to face the long edge of your mat, we're going to take a wide stance. So maybe wider than a normal stride for you. And you can adjust depending on your body. We're going to turn the left toes to face the short edge now. Right toes still facing the wide edge. Arms come out, shoulder height T position. The hinging is coming from the hips as we reach forward with that left arm. And releasing the hand down. Right hand reaches up to the ceiling. Maybe we look up towards the hands. Maybe we'll look down towards the floor for more grounding. Left hand, though, is not resting on the calf. palms turning out. Very active, engaging with the core here. Holding and breathing despite the challenge. Feel your strength, feel your power. Be aware of the energy behind the muscles. Good, and then to come out, we reach that left hand forward, engaging with the core here. We slowly come back up to a rise. Turning the left toes in, we turn our right toes out. Hands can stretch back out, shoulder height T position. Adjusting your stance if you need to. Hinging from the hips, reaching forward. That right hand, hinging until you cannot hinge. Right hand releases down, palm facing out. Left hand reaches up to the ceiling, looking up or looking down, working with your own body here. Looking down gives you more grounding. Keeping the legs strong, the body strong, keeping the straight lines as much as we're able to. And then to come out, you bring the right hand back up, engaging with the core, coming back up to a stand. Hands release down, feet turns in. We give everything a little bit of a shake out. To return to our mats for our final resting Shavasana, we're going to reach our hands up, bring them at about shoulder height here. You can come up onto your toes if you would like an additional balance and ankle challenge, but this is not necessary. And then slowly we're going to lower ourselves down. Bending the knees slowly, engaging with the core to hold yourself as you're lowering yourself down without the support of your hands. Lower yourself down, coming down, coming down. And once you sit onto the mat, straighten out the legs, keep the arms still reaching out. You can lower yourself down here into Shavasana or keep that engagement of the core, arms still stretching out. Lower yourself down all the way onto your back. And then hands can reach overhead once you reach the mat. Feet and hands extend away from each other, tall stretch. Stretching and releasing. We turn our palms facing up, feet falling open. Let's come into our final resting Shavasana. So to prepare for Shavasana, we come into our progressive relaxation exercises. So we're going to pick up the feet, picking up the hands, and we're going to raise all our limbs up into the air and tense the muscles in our arms, tense the muscles in our legs. Our calf muscles are tight, our shoulder, our hands, everything is very tense and tight. And we're going to flex the toes and point the toes, flex the fingers, make the fingers into a fist, and release everything down. Going to lift the hips, lift the belly up just a little bit, trying to tense the core muscles, tense the buttocks area, tense everything in that middle abdominal area, and release. Gently, let's pick up the head and tense all the muscles in the face, tense them. So try and squeeze your face really small, maybe bringing it into one point, the lips and the nose, and then spread the features of the face. Stick the tongue out, open the eyes, and gently lower the head down. So for our final relaxing Shavasana, I'm going to mention different areas of the body. Bring your focus and intention and awareness to that area and actively breathe into that area to encourage the relaxation. So toes, feet, ankles, toes, feet, ankles. Toes, feet, and ankles are relaxed. Calves, knees, thighs. Calves, knees, thighs. Calves, knees, and thighs are relaxed. Hands, arms, shoulders. Hands, arms, shoulders. Hands, arms, shoulders are relaxed. Belly, chest, neck. Belly, chest, neck. Belly, chest, neck are relaxed. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Lower, middle, upper back. Lower, middle, upper back are relaxed. Back of the head, forehead, face. Back of the head, forehead, face. Back of the head, forehead, and face are relaxed. Stomach, lungs, heart. Stomach, lungs, heart. Stomach, lungs, and heart are relaxed. My mind is relaxed. My body is relaxed. I am relaxed. Slowly, we call our attention back to our bodies, our physical bodies, bringing our awareness back to physical body awareness. Bringing ourselves more strongly in a grounded way into the bodies. Maybe we wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe we engage the perineum muscle energetically or physically. Maybe we lengthen, deepen the breath, making it more gross if it had become suspended in our Shavasana. Strong, gross breaths here. Stretching our arms overhead on the floor behind us, feet and hands extend away from each other. Coming into that tall stretch one last time. And then let's push ourselves up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed if we feel comfortable to do so. Either resting the hands on the thighs or bringing them to the heart center for our closing mantras. Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhana Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhave Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Vunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Namaskar.